Welcome back to day 5 of our English shadowing journey. Before we begin, if this is your first time watching one of these videos, I strongly recommend that you start with video 1 in the shadowing playlist and continue step by step from there. Each video is part of our journey, and every day is designed to help you build your English speaking skills little by little. And if you have already watched video 1, video 2, video 3, and video 4, I want to say thank you. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for practicing. And most importantly, thank you for not giving up. You have already completed 4 days of practice, and today we are moving forward together into day 5. You are not starting from zero anymore. You are building something. You are building a habit. You are training your ears to understand English. You are training your mouth to produce English. And you are slowly teaching your brain to respond in English instead of translating every sentence from your native language. Today, we are going to take another big step forward. And I want you to remember this. You do not need perfect English to start speaking English. You need practice. You need repetition. And you need the courage to speak even when you make mistakes. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever understood an English sentence when you heard it, but suddenly forgot all your English when someone asked you a question? Maybe you know the words. Maybe you understand the grammar. Maybe you can recognize English when you watch a video. But when it is your turn to speak, your mind suddenly becomes completely blank. You think, I know this word. I know this sentence. Why can I not say it right now? If that has ever happened to you, do not worry. You are not alone. This happens to many English learners. And that is exactly why today's practice is so important. Today, we are going to practice English that you can actually use in real life. We are going to visit a coffee shop. We are going shopping. We are going to take a ride. We are going to visit a doctor. We are going to practice a job interview. We are going to eat at a restaurant. We are going to make phone calls. We are going to ask for directions. We are going to stay at a hotel. And we are going to use public transportation. So this is not just another English lesson. This is a journey through everyday English. And I want you to imagine that you are really there. Imagine that you are standing in a coffee shop. Imagine that you are talking to a taxi driver. Imagine that you are checking into a hotel. Imagine that you are speaking to someone on the phone. The more you imagine the situation, the more naturally your brain connects English words with real experiences. Here is how we will practice today. First, listen carefully. Then repeat the sentence out loud. Do not just repeat the words. Try to copy the rhythm. Try to copy the natural speed. Try to copy the way the sentence flows. You do not have to sound perfect. You do not have to sound like a native speaker. Your goal is to become more comfortable speaking English. If you make a mistake, keep going. If you forget a word, keep going. If your pronunciation is not perfect, keep going. The most important thing today is to keep speaking. And here is a little challenge for you. When you hear a sentence for the first time, simply listen. When you hear it again, repeat with me. Then, when you hear it a third time, try to say it with confidence. Ready? Take a deep breath. Relax your shoulders. Open your mouth. And get ready to speak English. This is day 5. Let us begin. Section 1. Ordering coffee. Imagine you are walking into a coffee shop. You have had a long morning. You want to sit down, relax, and enjoy a nice drink. You walk to the counter, and the person serving you asks what you would like. This is a very common situation. So, let us learn some natural English sentences you can use. Listen first. I would like a medium latte, please. Now repeat. I would like a medium latte, please. Again. I would like a medium latte, please. Very good. Now imagine that you do not want too much sugar. You can say, can I get it with less sugar? Repeat. Can I get it with less sugar? Again. Can I get it with less sugar? Excellent. Now imagine that you cannot drink regular milk. You want another option. You can ask, do you have any dairy-free milk? Repeat. Do you have any dairy-free milk? Again. Do you have any dairy-free milk? Very good. Now imagine that you are in a hurry. You do not want to sit inside the coffee shop. You want to take your drink with you. You can say, I will take it to go. Repeat. I will take it to go. Again. I will take it to go. You can also say, make it to go, please. Repeat. Make it to go, please. Very good. Now imagine that you really like your coffee hot. You can ask, can you make it extra hot? Repeat, can you make it extra hot? Again, can you make it extra hot? You can also say, make it a bit hotter, please. Repeat, make it a bit hotter, please. Excellent. Now imagine that you are looking at the menu, but you do not know what sizes are available. You can ask, what sizes do you have? Repeat, what sizes do you have? Again, what sizes do you have? You can also say, what size options do you have? Repeat, what size options do you have? Excellent. Maybe you want another drink too. You can say, I will also have a small cappuccino. Repeat, I will also have a small cappuccino. Again, I will also have a small cappuccino. And when you have finished ordering, you can say, that is all. Thank you. Repeat, that is all. Thank you. Or you can say, that is everything. Thanks. Repeat, that is everything. Thanks. Wonderful. Now let us put some of these sentences together. Imagine you are ordering your coffee. You say, I would like a medium latte, please. Can I get it with less sugar? Do you have any dairy-free milk? I will take it to go. That is all. Thank you. Now try to imagine the whole conversation. You walk into the coffee shop. You smile. You look at the person behind the counter. And you speak. I would like a medium latte, please. Can I get it with less sugar? I will take it to go. That is all. Thank you. Excellent work. Notice something important. You are not learning isolated vocabulary. You are learning complete sentences. This is one of the best ways to improve your speaking. Instead of only memorizing the word coffee, you learn, I would like a coffee, please. Instead of only learning the word sugar, you learn, can I get it with less sugar? When you learn English in complete phrases, it becomes easier to remember and easier to use. Let us move on. Section 2. Shopping. Now imagine that you are in a store. Maybe you are looking for a new shirt. Maybe you are buying shoes. Maybe you are shopping for a gift. You see something you like, but you do not know the price. What can you say? You can say, excuse me, how much is this? Repeat, excuse me, how much is this? Again, excuse me, how much is this? You can also simply say, how much is this? Repeat, how much is this? Very good. Now imagine that you like a shirt, but the size is too small. You can ask, do you have this in a different size? Repeat, do you have this in a different size? Again, do you have this in a different size? You can also say, do you have another size? Repeat, do you have another size? Excellent. Now you want to try something on. You can ask, can I try this on? Repeat, can I try this on? Again, can I try this on? You can also say, can I try it on? Repeat, can I try it on? Very good. Now you need to find the fitting room. You can ask, where's the fitting room? Repeat, where's the fitting room? Again, where's the fitting room? Or you can say, where can I try this? Repeat, where can I try this? Excellent. Now imagine that a salesperson comes to you and asks if you need help. But you are only looking. You can politely say, I am just looking, thanks. Repeat, I am just looking, thanks. You can also say, just looking, thank you. Repeat, just looking, thank you. Very natural. Now imagine you like the same shirt, but you want another color. You can ask, do you have this in another color? Repeat, do you have this in another color? Again, do you have this in another color? You can also say, do you have a different color? Repeat, do you have a different color? Excellent. Now imagine that you really like something, but you want to know if there is a special price. You can ask, is there a discount on this? Repeat, is there a discount on this? You can also say, is this on sale? Repeat, is this on sale? Very good. And finally, you decide to buy it. You can say, I will take this one. Repeat, I will take this one. Or, I will buy this one. Repeat, I will buy this one. Excellent. Now imagine the whole shopping experience. Excuse me, how much is this? Do you have this in another size? Can I try it on? Where's the fitting room? Do you have this in another color? Is this on sale? I will take this one. That is real English. That is English you can use. And the more you practice these sentences, the easier it becomes to speak without thinking too much. Section 3. Taking a ride. Now imagine that you are traveling in a new city. You need to take a taxi or a ride service. You get into the car and you need to tell the driver where you want to go. You can say, "Can you take me to this address?" Repeat, "Can you take me to this address?" Again, "Can you take me to this address?" Now you want to know how long the trip will take. You can ask, "How long will it take?" Repeat, "How long will it take?" You can also say, "How long is it going to take?" Repeat, "How long is it going to take?" Very good. Now you want to know the price. You can ask, "How much will it cost?" Repeat, "How much will it cost?" You can also ask, "How much is the fare?" Repeat, "How much is the fare?" Excellent. Now imagine that you are in a hurry. You want to arrive quickly. You can ask, "Can you take the faster route?" Repeat, "Can you take the faster route?" Or, "Can you go the quickest way?" Repeat, "Can you go the quickest way?" Very good. Now you have arrived at your destination. You can say, "Please stop here." Repeat, "Please stop here." Or, "You can stop here." Repeat, "You can stop here." Now imagine that you need to wait for someone. You can ask, "Can you wait for a minute?" Repeat, "Can you wait for a minute?" You can also say, "Can you wait here for a bit?" Repeat, "Can you wait here for a bit?" Excellent. Now imagine that you see a lot of cars ahead. You want to know if there is traffic. You can ask, "Is there traffic ahead?" Repeat, "Is there traffic ahead?" Or, "Is it busy on the road?" Repeat, "Is it busy on the road?" Very good. When you arrive, you can say, "Thank you. Have a good day." Repeat, "Thank you. Have a good day." Or, "Thanks. Have a great day." Repeat, "Thanks. Have a great day." Excellent. You are doing very well. Keep going. Section 4. At the doctor. Now we are going to practice another important real-life situation. Imagine that you are visiting a doctor. You are not feeling well and you need to explain how you feel. You can begin with, "I am not feeling very well today." Repeat, "I am not feeling very well today." Again, "I am not feeling very well today." You can also say, "I do not feel very well today." Repeat, "I do not feel very well today." Now imagine that you have two symptoms. You can say, "I have a headache and a sore throat." Repeat, "I have a headache and a sore throat." Again, "I have a headache and a sore throat." You can also say, "I have been feeling tired lately." Repeat, "I have been feeling tired lately." Or, "I feel tired these days." Repeat, "I feel tired these days." Excellent. Now imagine that you have a small fever. You can say, "I also have a slight fever." Repeat, "I also have a slight fever." Or, "I think I have a mild fever." Repeat, "I think I have a mild fever." Very good. Now you want to know when you will feel better. You can ask, "How long will it take to recover?" Repeat, "How long will it take to recover?" You can also say, "How long until I feel better?" Repeat, "How long until I feel better?" Excellent. Now you want to ask about medicine. You can say, "Do I need any medicine?" Repeat, "Do I need any medicine?" Or, "Should I take any medication?" Repeat, "Should I take any medication?" Very good. Now imagine that you have responsibilities. You want to know if you can continue working. You can ask, "Can I go to work?" Repeat, "Can I go to work?" Or, "Is it okay to work?" Repeat, "Is it okay to work?" And when your conversation with the doctor is finished, you can say, "Thank you, doctor." Repeat, "Thank you, doctor." Or simply, "Thanks, doctor." Repeat, "Thanks, doctor." Excellent. Remember that when you practice these sentences, you are training yourself to communicate in a real situation. You are not just studying English. You are preparing yourself for life. Section 5. Job Interview English. Now let us imagine something exciting. You are sitting in a job interview. You feel nervous. Your heart is beating a little faster. But you take a deep breath. You smile. And you speak clearly. The interviewer says hello. You can respond, "Nice to meet you." "Thank you for this opportunity." Repeat, "Nice to meet you." "Thank you for this opportunity." Again, Nice to meet you. Thank you for this opportunity. You can also say, it is nice to meet you. Thanks for the opportunity. Repeat. It is nice to meet you. Thanks for the opportunity. Very good. Now imagine that the interviewer asks about your experience. You can say, I have experience in customer service. Repeat. I have experience in customer service. Or, I have worked in customer service before. Repeat. I have worked in customer service before. Excellent. Now imagine that you want to talk about your ability to learn. You can say, I am a quick learner. Repeat. I am a quick learner. You can also say, I learn things quickly. Repeat. I learn things quickly. Very good. Now imagine that you want to explain that you work well with other people. You can say, I work well in a team. Repeat. I work well in a team. Or, I am good at teamwork. Repeat. I am good at teamwork. Excellent. Now imagine that you're someone who wants to improve. You can say, I am always willing to improve. Repeat. I am always willing to improve. Or, I am always trying to get better. Repeat. I am always trying to get better. Very good. Now imagine that the job can sometimes be stressful. You want to show that you can stay calm. You can say, I can handle pressure. Repeat. I can handle pressure. Or, I work well under pressure. Repeat. I work well under pressure. Excellent. Now imagine that you like to plan your work carefully. You can say, I am very organized. Repeat. I am very organized. Or, I like to stay organized. Repeat. I like to stay organized. Very good. At the end of the interview, you can say, thank you for your time. Repeat. Thank you for your time. Or, thanks for your time. Repeat. Thanks for your time. Excellent work. Now let us pause for a moment. If you are still here, I want you to be proud of yourself. You have already practiced coffee shop English. You have practiced shopping English. You have practiced transportation English. You have practiced English for visiting a doctor. And now you have practiced job interview English. This is exactly how you improve. One sentence at a time. One situation at a time. One day at a time. So do not worry about becoming fluent overnight. You do not need to know everything today. You simply need to keep moving forward. And you're doing that right now. Let us continue. Section 6. At the restaurant. Imagine that you are traveling or simply going out for dinner. You walk into a restaurant. You need a table. You can say, can I get a table for two? Repeat. Can I get a table for two? Or, do you have a table for two? Repeat. Do you have a table for two? Excellent. Now you are seated, but you need the menu. You can say, can I see the menu, please? Repeat. Can I see the menu, please? You can also say, could I see the menu? Repeat. Could I see the menu? Very good. Now you are looking at the menu, but you cannot decide what to order. You can ask, what do you recommend? Repeat. What do you recommend? Or, what would you suggest? Repeat. What would you suggest? Excellent. Now imagine that you have decided what you want. You can say, I will have the grilled chicken. Repeat. I will have the grilled chicken. Or, I will go with the grilled chicken. Repeat. I will go with the grilled chicken. Very good. Maybe you do not like very spicy food. You can ask, can you make it less spicy? Repeat. Can you make it less spicy? Or, could you make it a bit less spicy? Repeat. Could you make it a bit less spicy? Excellent. Now you want some water. You can say, can I get some water? Repeat. Can I get some water? Or, could I have some water? Repeat. Could I have some water? Very good. When you finish ordering, you can say, that is all for now. Repeat. That is all for now. Or, that is it for now. Repeat. That is it for now. And when you finish your meal, you need to pay. You can ask, can we get the bill, please? Repeat. Can we get the bill, please? Or, could we have the check? Repeat. Could we have the check? Excellent. Now imagine the whole restaurant experience. Can I get a table for two? Could I see the menu? What would you suggest? I will go with the grilled chicken. Could you make it a bit less spicy? Could I have some water? That is all for now. Could we have the check? Amazing. You are building complete conversations now. Section 7. Phone conversations. Now let us practice something many English learners find difficult. Phone conversations. When you are speaking on the phone, you cannot see the other person's face. You have to listen carefully. You have to speak clearly. And sometimes the connection is not perfect. So let us practice. Imagine that you want to call someone. You can begin with, "Hi, is this a good time to talk?" Repeat, "Hi, is this a good time to talk?" Or you can say, "Hey, can you talk right now?" Repeat, "Hey, can you talk right now?" Very good. Now imagine that someone called you earlier, but you could not answer. You can say, "Sorry, I missed your call earlier." Repeat, "Sorry, I missed your call earlier." Or, "Sorry, I could not answer before." Repeat, "Sorry, I could not answer before." Excellent. Now imagine that you are on the phone and you want to check the connection. You can ask, "Can you hear me clearly?" Repeat, "Can you hear me clearly?" Or, "Can you hear me okay?" Repeat, "Can you hear me okay?" Very good. Now imagine that the connection is weak. You can say, "The connection is a bit weak." Repeat, "The connection is a bit weak." Or, "The signal is not very strong." Repeat, "The signal is not very strong." Excellent. Now imagine that you need to end the call and call the person again later. You can say, "Let me call you back." Repeat, "Let me call you back." Or, "I will call you back." Repeat, "I will call you back." You can also say, "I will call you in a few minutes." Repeat, "I will call you in a few minutes." Or simply, "I will call you soon." Repeat, "I will call you soon." Very good. Now imagine that you are busy and cannot talk right now. You can ask, "Can we talk later?" Repeat, "Can we talk later?" Or, "Can we speak later?" Repeat, "Can we speak later?" Excellent. At the end of the conversation, you can say, "Thanks for calling." Repeat, "Thanks for calling." Or, "Thanks for the call." Repeat, "Thanks for the call." Very good. You are doing an amazing job. Do not stop now. Section 8. Asking for directions. Now imagine that you are in a new city. You are walking down the street. You do not know where you are. You need help. The first thing you can say is, "Excuse me, can you help me?" Repeat, "Excuse me, can you help me?" You can also say, "Can you help me for a second?" Repeat, "Can you help me for a second?" Very good. Now imagine that you are trying to find a bus stop. You can say, "I am looking for the nearest bus stop." Repeat, "I am looking for the nearest bus stop." Or, "Where's the nearest bus stop?" Repeat, "Where's the nearest bus stop?" Excellent. Now you want to know how far away it is. You can ask, "Is it far from here?" Repeat, "Is it far from here?" Or, "Is it nearby?" Repeat, "Is it nearby?" Very good. Now imagine that someone gives you directions. You want to make sure you understand. You can ask, "Should I go straight?" Repeat, "Should I go straight?" Or, "Do I go straight?" Repeat, "Do I go straight?" Excellent. Now you need to know whether you should turn. You can ask, "Do I need to turn left?" Repeat, "Do I need to turn left?" Or, "Should I turn left?" Repeat, "Should I turn left?" Very good. Now imagine that you are not sure which side of the street you need. You can ask, "Is it on the right or left?" Repeat, "Is it on the right or left?" Or, "Is it on the right side or the left?" Repeat, "Is it on the right side or the left?" Excellent. Now you want to know how long it will take to walk. You can ask, "How long does it take to walk?" Repeat, "How long does it take to walk?" Or, "How long is the walk?" Repeat, "How long is the walk?" And finally, after someone helps you, you can say, "Thank you for your help." Repeat, "Thank you for your help." Or, "Thanks for your help." Repeat, "Thanks for your help." Excellent. Imagine yourself in a new city. "Excuse me, can you help me? I am looking for the nearest bus stop. Is it far from here? Should I go straight? Should I turn left? Is it on the right or left? How long does it take to walk? Thank you for your help." That is a complete real-life conversation. And now you know how to handle it in English. Section 9. At the hotel. Now let us imagine that you are traveling. You arrive at a hotel. You walk to the reception desk. The receptionist asks for your information. You can say, I have a reservation under this name. Repeat, I have a reservation under this name. You can also say, I booked a room under this name. Repeat, I booked a room under this name. Excellent. Now you want to check in. You can ask, can I check in now? Repeat, can I check in now? Or, is it possible to check in now? Repeat, is it possible to check in now? Very good. Now imagine that the receptionist asks for identification. They may say, can I see your ID? Repeat, can I see your ID? Or, may I see your ID? Repeat, may I see your ID? Excellent. Now you want to know when you have to leave. You can ask, what time is checkout? Repeat, what time is checkout? Or, when is checkout time? Repeat, when is checkout time? Very good. Now you want to know if breakfast is included in your booking. You can ask, is breakfast included? Repeat, is breakfast included? Or, does it include breakfast? Repeat, does it include breakfast? Excellent. Now imagine that you would love to have a room with a beautiful view. You can ask, can I get a room with a view? Repeat, can I get a room with a view? Or, do you have a room with a view? Repeat, do you have a room with a view? Very good. Now imagine that you have heavy luggage. You need some help. You can ask, can you help me with my luggage? Repeat, can you help me with my luggage? Or, could you help me with my bags? Repeat, could you help me with my bags? Excellent. And when someone helps you, you can say, thank you very much. Repeat, thank you very much. Or, thanks a lot. Repeat, thanks a lot. Amazing work. You have now practiced English for hotels and travel. You are doing better than you think. Section 10. Transport and travel. Now we are coming to our final real-life situation for today's practice. Public transportation. Imagine that you are at a bus station. You see a bus, but you are not sure where it is going. You can ask, does this bus go downtown? Repeat, does this bus go downtown? Or, is this the bus to downtown? Repeat, is this the bus to downtown? Very good. Now you want to know the price of the ticket. You can ask, how much is the ticket? Repeat, how much is the ticket? Or, how much does it cost? Repeat, how much does it cost? Excellent. Now imagine that you are on the bus. You are going somewhere new. You want to know where you should leave the bus. You can ask, where should I get off? Repeat, where should I get off? Or, where do I get off? Repeat, where do I get off? Very good. Now you see an empty seat. But you are not sure if someone is sitting there. You can ask, is this seat taken? Repeat, is this seat taken? Or, is anyone sitting here? Repeat, is anyone sitting here? Excellent. Now you are waiting for the bus. You want to know when the next one arrives. You can ask, when is the next bus? Repeat, when is the next bus? Or, when does the next bus come? Repeat, when does the next bus come? Very good. Now imagine that you are taking a train. You want to make sure that the train stops at your destination. You can ask, does this train stop there? Repeat, does this train stop there? Or, will this train stop there? Repeat, will this train stop there? Excellent. Now you want to know how long the journey will take. You can ask, how long is the journey? Repeat, how long is the journey? Or, how long does it take? Repeat, how long does it take? Very good. And when someone gives you the information you need, you can say, thank you for the information. Repeat, thank you for the information. Or, thanks for the info. Repeat, thanks for the info. Amazing. And that brings us to the end of day 5 of our English shadowing practice. If you stayed until the end and repeated the sentences with me, congratulations. You have just completed another important step toward improving your English speaking, listening, pronunciation, and fluency. Remember, the secret to speaking English naturally is not studying once and stopping. It is practicing every day. Listen, repeat, speak out loud, and keep going. The more you practice English shadowing, the more confident and comfortable you will become when speaking English. If you enjoyed this English speaking practice, Make sure to like this video and share it with a friend who is also learning English. Subscribe to the channel for more English shadowing practice, daily English speaking lessons, listening practice, pronunciation training, and real-life English conversations. And do not forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next English lesson and the next day of our shadowing journey. If you completed today's practice, write day 5 complete in the comments below. I want to know how many English learners are continuing this journey with us. And if you are new to the series, go back and start with day 1. If you have already completed the previous lessons, thank you for coming back and continuing to practice with me. Remember, you do not need perfect English to start speaking English. You just need to start. One sentence at a time. One conversation at a time. One day at a time. Keep listening. Keep repeating. Keep speaking. Keep practicing. And never give up on your English journey. I will see you in day 6. Until then, keep practicing your English, keep building your confidence, and keep believing in yourself. Like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Your English journey continues tomorrow.